This artist book is titled Thaw by Gary Smith, and it comes in essentially two parts. One, you have a small postcard, like so, which on the front says, contrary to commonly held belief that a person's character is revealed by the contents of their library, the opposite is the case. The greatest insight is gained by noting those books which are not there. This is on the front, and on the back is some handwritten information, which I will briefly discuss in a minute. Alongside this postcard, you have this nicely wrapped soft cloth wrapping with a ribbon around it, and once you open it, you notice this hard-shelled USB stick. And on top of the USB stick, it says Thaw, the title of the book. Interestingly enough, the material that the USB stick cover is made out of is old compressed paper or old books, essentially. And that's a really nice component of this piece. The content of the book is essentially a collection of stories as well as abstract soundscapes that are made by individuals in different locations. Thaw is essentially a traveling exhibition of going to different bookstores and collecting stories and placed on this USB stick. On the USB stick, there are actually two things. One, an HTML file that gives you the project description and the titles of all the tracks, as well as all the audio that accompanies that HTML file. And a really nice one that I recall from hearing this is a siren librarian, which is a very faint siren that goes on for I think about a minute or so. It's a very nice piece, and there's ones that are two people speaking. And the way that the audio is made for this, specifically with the text pieces, is that, or the voice pieces, essentially is that one person is speaking in one ear and then the other person is speaking in the other ear. So it's stereo but panned hard left and right for the two individuals' voices. And when you're experiencing this, the reader is kind of situated in between the two voices, and you essentially decide who you want to listen to more, which I find very fascinating. Because our attention does allow for that, meaning that we somewhat tune out, say, the left ear and listen to the person on my right. And that's a very nice component of this. And this existing in artist book collection is really nice and complementary, given the fact that this is somewhere that also collects stories, similar to how Thaw would collect the stories. And more than anything else I've experienced in this collection, this artist book feels like it was left behind intentionally, meaning that given the fact that it's supposed to be traveling from one place to another to collect stories, this feels like an intimate gesture of leaving something behind, specifically in this collection in this case, and letting it accumulate meaning and wanting to have it connect with the rest of the world. And speaking of connecting with the rest of the world, on the back of the postcard, you actually have a website where you can reach the information of the project, as well as an email address, and so on. So it's very intimate. I mean, the only text that comes with the only type text that comes with it is the quote on the front, as well as on the USB stick. Other than that, you don't really have much information other than handwritten stuff, which I find very nice and intimate and complementary to the context of the artist book.